everyone, it's Darby from rejoiceandcreate.com. Thanks for stopping by today. Well, recently in a 6x6 series, I made a little candle that was a Tealight treat holder. And I thought, how cute would that be if I could actually fit a K-cup in there and a little treat? So I went ahead and created one that was this big. Now, this one actually fits a K-cup in its base, and there's enough room for a treat, perhaps a ferrero rocher or a few little candies. And that one was created using a paper from the Merry Little Christmas pack, which is an 8x8 pack. And I believe I got this one actually at maymaymadeit.com. For the Joy to the World sentiment, I actually used Itty Bitty Christmas. And I punched it out with a 1-inch punch and mounted it on a 1 1/8 inch scalloped circle punch. I thought it would make a nice little treat for Thanksgiving as well, so I went ahead and created another one. This one was created with an embossed cardstock that was fall embossed paper pad from Recollections, and I got this at Michael's. The stamp set was a corny thank you, and I believe it's retired from Stampin' Up, as well as the punch that matches it. And in this one I have a chai tea with a Ferrero Rocher. But I thought it would be very sweet for Christmas as well if I made one with Swiss Miss and then added a few little candies to go along with your hot cocoa. So that's what I'm going to do today. Alright, so let me put this aside for a second. What you'll need is a piece of pattern paper or cardstock that is 6 inches by 7 1/4. You will need a piece of cardstock that allows you to punch a 2-inch circle punch, or you can actually trace it from the bottom of the candle once you make if you don't have a 2-inch circle punch. And then whatever embellishments you want to decorate the front of it. Alright, so let's go ahead and score. Alright, so this piece of paper is left over from my Recollections Christmas Noel Be Merry paper pad, and I've had this for a couple years now, so I'm not sure if it's still available, but I know there's a lot of pretty ones that are out there. And with a 7 1/4 inch side up, score it at 1 1/8, 2 1/4, 3 3/8, 4 1/2, 5 5/8, and at 6 3/4. All right, turn the 6-inch side up, and if there's a pattern, put the top to the right and score it at 1 1/2, 4, 4 1/2, and 5. Okay, so let me turn to the back so you can see the score lines. You have a 1/2 inch tab on the end. You do not need the bottom section of that, so go ahead and cut up that score line, and we'll just nip it right off with a little angle. And then go ahead and cut up each of these score lines to the first score line you meet. Alright, so go ahead and fold and burnish your score lines. We'll do the vertical ones first. And now when we get to the 3 score lines together, the center score line is going to fold in a valley to the inside, and the other 2 will fold up to the outside. And this is how that looks. Okay. Alright, so let's put some taper glue on that 1/2 inch tab. Okay, let's go ahead and line those up. But what we want to do, we don't want to put this all the way to cover the score line. If it folds over the score line at all, it will make it too tight for your K-cup. So make sure it actually, when you line it up on the right inside the score line. And to do that, I'm going to actually fold it this way. And then make sure the top lines up. Okay, I'm just going to reinforce all my vertical score lines. Okay. All right, so when I did my 6x6 series, I actually showed you how to use a 1-inch punch, line it up right on the center line in between those two half-inch marks from that center line, and to punch it like this. You probably want to go to third, maybe a little bit, but not quite half, because that will eat too much into the paper. Today I'm going to show you how to use the envelope punch board. Now, if you have the envelope punch board, it makes these very easy. Just go ahead and line that center one up, not one of the outside ones, but that center one, right up into the center of that punch throat, and punch. Okay, and then work your way around. Okay, so this is what we have for our candle so far, and that will go down. Now to glue it together, I'm going to actually put my K-cup in here to help me keep it the right shape. So let me get my hot cocoa K-cup, and I'm actually going to put it down the top first and make sure that my bottom is even with the bottom of the box to help me line it up. Okay, and then I'll just glue. Now my seam is in the back there, so I want my front ones to go down last. So what I'll do is actually start with the side and make sure they line up across the top of the cup. Put the back one on and then match it with the front one. And again the back one, and then match it with the front. Okay, so now our K-cup is in there, and I'm going to put a few little goodies. I'm going to put a couple of Hershey Kisses and a couple of peppermint hard candies. Okay, so you can see my hard candies and my kisses are in there. All right, I'm using some coordinating twine, and I'm going to go ahead and tie a bow. Let's see, where did my back go again? And that's my back, so let me go ahead and tie it in the front. Of course, I could see the seam right there too if I actually looked. All right, I think that's really sweet. All right, so I went ahead and created a sentiment already, and what I did is I used an old Stampin' Up! Snowflake punch. I layered it with, actually this is an old stamp set. Actually came with wood only, and it's called Terrific Tags, and these 6 on the top were from Terrific Tags, and it actually had a matching punch. And then I just used a little Paper Studio snowflake punch to embellish that with some rhinestones. And let me just go ahead and glue it on the front. Now the last thing we're going to do is actually put our Tealight in, and I had seen some that were a little bit wider, that may be 2-inch diameter, and if you can find that, that actually will fit in there. But as you can see, the 1.5-inch ones that I have don't. So what I did is I actually punched a 2-inch circle. I took my 1/4 of an inch circle punch, and I actually made 3 little punches right in the center of my circle. like that. And then I simply put it down over the top of my Tealight, and then I went ahead and tucked it in like this. And that keeps it centered in there and actually will keep it down. And I think it makes a very sweet treat holder or a little table decor, or even a little bit of a stocking stuffer or a coworker gift. So I hope you enjoyed this K-cup version of the little Tealight and treat holder. If you liked the video, please subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to be notified of new videos as I upload them. For more information on this project or others I've done, please go to rejoiceandcreate.com. And as always, until we meet again, I hope your days are blessed. Bye!